Hey there everyone, thanks for checking out the video today and going along for a ride. I wanted to talk about what it's been like to own the 2022 Triumph Scrambler 1200 for the last 12 months. And in that 12 months I've put about 9,000 miles, just over 9,000 miles on this bike. So we'll talk about a couple of things I still love about it and a couple of things that are so-so. And then just a few issues that I have had that I'd rather not have had. So first of all, this bike still makes me smile every single time I throw a leg over it and go for a ride. Every time I park it, I'm still looking back at it. It's still a great bike. I have not outgrown it or thought about, boy, it would be nice to have something with more power or more speed. It's been everything I've wanted it to be. And I still think it's one of the most beautiful bikes that's being produced today as far as a modern classic is concerned. And I'm not the only one that loves the looks of it. It is actually very rare for me to stop somewhere for fuel or whatever and someone doesn't comment on how great the bike looks and they want to know what it is. It does seem that, at least here in the US, not many people know Triumph motorcycles. I've even had, on two separate occasions, people thought that this was an older bike from the 60s or 70s that was restored. They were very shocked to learn it was actually a brand new bike. So, to me that just states that, Triumph has absolutely nailed the design of this bike. The bike has been really good to me as far as its maintenance and reliability. I've never been stranded. I haven't had any issues whatsoever. Nothing has gone wrong with it from a mechanical standpoint. There are a couple of things that I'm not real crazy about, but we'll get into those in a couple of minutes here. The seat does need a little getting used to. It's pretty stiff in my opinion. It is a stock seat. There's not really much you can hope for, I don't think, with anybody with a stock seat. And I have been considering buying a Corbin, but I don't know. I'm flip-flopping back and forth. I can go about an hour to an hour and a half on this before I feel like I need to have a break, which isn't crazy. I mean, that's fine. And usually about that time, it's, depending on where I'm riding, I'm getting close to needing a fuel stop anyway. As far as adventure bike type stuff goes, obviously that's a drawback. That doesn't have a giant tank like some adventure bikes, or I should say most, at least big adventure bikes. But it's not bad. I mean, I don't know if you can see the cluster there, but over the course of the year I've owned it, I've been getting, I've averaged 47.6 miles to the gallon. Now that is American miles to the gallon, and which is absolutely fine. I've done the manual calculations, I think, 3 times, 4 times, something like that. And it seems like the onboard computer is always 1 to 2 miles per gallon under what your manual calculation is. But it's still pretty close. Let's get pulled over up here and I'll show you the couple of things that I'm not too crazy about. Alright guys, let me tell you about and show you a couple of the issues I've had. So the first one was at about 1,500 miles, almost right on the dot if I remember right. I just out riding one day and all of a sudden I had a ABS light and a traction control light, and no matter which mode I cycled through, the lights just wouldn't go out, and I didn't have ABS or traction control. I do have the Tune ECU app and dongle because I do my own oil changes and stuff like that, so I can change the reset the mileage after I do that. So I plugged that in and I had an error code for an ICU. Now I reset the code and I've never had the code come back. Actually, I've never had any other codes, and I never had the problem again. So I don't know what caused that, but it hasn't been an issue. The biggest issue was actually 2 or 3 months into owning the bike. This has stainless steel braided brake lines, and they're coated in like a plastic or clear rubber, something like that. And I'll show you here on the bike, but I noticed that one of them, you can see right there, had a mark on it, and it's actually, hopefully that shows up. Let me move out the light here. Appears to be rusting inside. Now, I went to the dealership where I bought the bike, and they looked at it and said, yeah, it shouldn't be like that, obviously, and they filed a claim under warranty. That was in July. No, that was the end of June. It's now the beginning of May, and I've never heard back from them. I've called, I've left several messages, I've emailed them, and they just don't even respond. So it looks like I'm gonna have to buy my own brake line now, which, obviously that's a problem with the bike, but that's a bigger problem with their network of how they treat their customers, and that's pretty disheartening. So the buying process at the dealership was fantastic, but it seems like they don't care after you take it. So that's a shame. The other thing that has gone kind of wrong, as you can see here now this is the exhaust side engine plate. You can see this little badge here. It's kind of like a matte gray with a silver center, and that's how it was when I bought it. On the non-exhaust side, you can see that matte gray has all flaked off, and now it's chrome. So, I mean, I don't know, just a defective piece. Isn't like it looks bad. I just, and those are easily replaced, so I'm actually not that concerned about it. Something that's a little strange, it's neither good or bad, I guess, in my opinion, is the maintenance schedule for this. Well, the chain maintenance says every 200 miles, clean and adjust your chain. That's kind of ridiculous to me, and I don't do it every 200 miles. I do it every long ride or 500-ish miles, because I can't stop every 200 miles and be, adjusting my chain. Hasn't been an issue, but that's just a weird maintenance schedule. The other weird maintenance thing would be that Triumph claims 10,000 miles is an oil change. You do your 500-mile break-in, which I did, and then the next one isn't due till 10,000 miles. And I know there's, modern oils and everything are fine, but I don't trust that. So I did an oil change at 500, 3,500, and then 7,500. Just because I'd rather, spend the money and be safe. On the point of oil changes, if you try to buy the oil that is recommended by Triumph and the filter from Triumph, the oil change kit runs you about $100. Still cheaper than going to the dealership, but I found they sell the exact oil that you need at local, automotive stores like Advanced Auto here in the US, and it's like $9 a quart. I think I even got it on sale for like $8.49 a quart, something like that. And the oil filter, Triumph branded oil filter off of Amazon for 15 bucks. So way cheaper not to buy that stuff at the dealer. So that is really all I can think of as far as concerns or issues I've had with the bike. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and take care. Hopefully we'll see you real soon. Appreciate it.